What is going on, guys? We have Jeff, aka Ebay Addicts. What is going on? And obviously, Flip the World is on his online as well. What's going on, Jeff? How's your day been so far?
Oh man, I'm doing well. I'm kind of a night person, so people don't know me. Like I'll sleep during the daytime, and I'll get up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's when I start my day. So far so good. I'm doing well. How are you guys doing? First of all, thanks for inviting me on. I appreciate it.
Definitely, man. Definitely. The more content, the better. And it's good, always good to have you on. You're one of the first people that had us on while we're a couple months ago. So just kind of repeating the favor, and it was a good conversation beforehand too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to hang out with me for sure.
For sure, man. So kind of give everybody, when did you start reselling, kind of like the baseline and your background as well, and then we can start jumping into conversation. Kind of give everybody that doesn't know you who you are.
Well, first of all, my name is Jeff. I'm known on YouTube as Ebay Addicts. I still have a regular, I guess you would say, 9-to-5 job. And on nights, like I turn into Batman, and I actually deliver medical supplies for hospitals and things like that. So if people need help with things, maybe they need prescription drugs delivered to Walgreens and they're a sick patient, maybe they have body parts. I deliver eyeballs, human organs, prescription drugs, heart pumps, things like that people need. And I do a lot of out-of-town deliveries. So in the middle of the night, they'll call me, they'll text me at midnight, like last night, they'll say, hey, Jeff, we just had this run come in. I live in Tampa. We need you to go to Orlando. You pick up this box in Orlando, take it back to Tampa and deliver it. And then once the person signs off the delivery ticket, your delivery is completed, then you're done for the day. So it varies day to day. It's kind of a on-call, on-demand courier job. So I still do that. I have my 2 eBay stores, and then I have my YouTube channel.
Nice. Holy F, man. First and foremost, that is crazy. Like,
yeah. I already started thinking about how I could how you ever been like someone try to hijack you for like black market, like organ sales?
Livers.
No, man, the good thing is when you're working at night at 1-2 o'clock in the morning, there's no traffic, most of the time, unless there's like a semi truck that flipped over on the highway, or unless something crazy, 95% of the time, unless there's like a major wreck or the police pull you over, you're in and out pretty quickly and pretty smoothly. And if you're willing to hustle, you can make some money. I'm not a person that likes to brag or promote myself, but like Monday night, for example, I worked maybe 6-7 hours and made $600 in one night. And just
nice.
all I'm doing is driving, and so I drove from Tampa to Melbourne, which is the east coast of Florida, and then from Melbourne to Gainesville, that's a 3-hour drive, and then from Gainesville back to Tampa is 2 hours. So for my night shift, my night shift, I made $600 for the night. So it's hard for me to give that up. Whenever you can be your own boss and you're a 1099, just like eBay, you can be your own boss. You get to make your own work schedule, and you get compensated pretty well. On average, I would say I'm probably between 90 and 100 grand a year just driving a car. And a lot of the times I'll work 4 or 5 hours a night. It's not like I'm handcuffed to an 8 or 10 hour shift. And if I don't want to work, I don't have to work. You make up your own schedule. So that's pretty much what I do in a nutshell.
It almost sounds like it could be a YouTube channel. Like, hey, I'm Jeff and I'm delivering eyeballs. Like, I'd watch it.
It's funny you should say that. I was actually featured on Reyes the Entrepreneur's channel. So if you guys get a chance, you can check out my channel in the community section. I actually did a ride along with Reyes the Entrepreneur, and just so happened the alternator went out of the car and we broke down the highway for 4 hours. So, and if you guys don't know Reyes the Entrepreneur, he has a big YouTube channel, like 400,000 subscribers. And here we are, we're stranded on the side of the highway. He's in the passenger seat, I'm in the driver's seat, and he's like, yo, Jeff, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I said to him, I said, well, Reyes, bro, you're not in California, bro, you're in Florida. So if you have to go to the bathroom, the woods are over there, my man. The woods are over there.
Shout out to first and foremost. Shout out to Reyes. Love that guy, dude. He's awesome. He's actually going to be a HAMMOQ influencer as well.
Yeah, man, if you get a chance to hang out with Reyes, man, he's a great guy if you get a chance to meet him. But just for an example, like this is just 1 week where I did my courier gig. I did 15 deliveries for the week. And then my payout was $1,862 for 1 week.
Can you bring it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Keep going up right there.
Yeah. See?
Dang.
So that was the total deliveries I did for the week was 15. And then my payout was $1,862. So if you multiply that over 52 weeks, that's 97,000. So I like it because I get to be an independent contractor. I get to kind of be my own boss. I get to make my own work schedule, and I have the freedom and flexibility to work on other projects like eBay, shooting YouTube videos, doing whatever I want to do, you know. But yeah, as far as my back history, before what actually got me into reselling, I was actually a forklift driver. So I was working for General Electric, and that was my job, my 9 to 5 job. I worked there for 10 years. I worked there from 2006 to 2016. And my job was to work in a factory, and I was driving a forklift, and my job was to load up appliances in the back of these semi trucks. So what would happen is that places like Sears, Lowe's, Home Depot, somebody would order a stove or a refrigerator or microwave or whatever, and we were in the distribution center, and my job was to load it up in the back of semi trucks. And then that was like my job. And then that's what we would do for 8 or 10, 12-hour days. And, you know, I'm in this hot, muggy factory. It's 90 to 100 degrees in there. We don't have no air conditioning. You have this hot fan that blows hot air on you, you know. And I'm just sitting in this factory, and I've been there, at this point, I've been there for 10 years. It's a quote unquote good union job. But the difference is, it's like I could go and hustle and work my tail off, right? And on paper, it'll say you made $1,800 or $2,000 gross. But where I was living at in Kentucky, you had to pay state, local, federal taxes, union dues, health insurance, 401k, Social Security. All this stuff was taken out of your check. So by the time you actually got it and brought it home, it was like half of that. You would bring home like 1,000. You would like make 1,800. You would bring home like 1,000. You know, I don't know if you can relate if you've worked at a corporate job. So I was there for 10 years. And then one day out of the clear blue, this company, General Electric, we got bought out by this Chinese company called Harrier. And they just showed up one day and they were like, hey, dude, you know, all the stuff that they've told you for 10 years about you having quote unquote job security and benefits and seniority, all this stuff was basically hogwash. We're like, we're outsourcing your entire department. That's it. Your whole department's outsourced. Sayonara. If you want, you can go back to working on the assembly line and make, you know, 30 grand a year, or you can go find a new job, you know? So that's what happened. And that was my job. And one day while I was, before the takeover happened, I was listening to YouTube videos and podcasts like people like us do. And I happened to come across this YouTuber, and his name was GillDaddy. And I was watching his YouTube video, and you can look him up. His name's GillDaddy. I don't think he makes YouTube videos now, but him and his wife would go to the Goodwill bins, right? And they would come home with all type of parts, vacuum cleaners, blenders, shoes, TV remotes. They would come home with all these crazy items and then part them out. And I was like, wait a minute. So this guy's going to the Goodwill bins, him and his wife, they spend a couple of hours at the Goodwill bins. Their whole van is full of merchandise that they're going to resell. And the dude's saying, hey, we're going to make $1,000, $1,500 worth of profit on these items that he got at the Goodwill bins. And I was like, I wonder if this is legit. Like, I wonder if this is true. Because at the time, I'm working 40, 50, 60 hours driving a forklift. For me, I'm counting the amount of man hours I'm putting in driving a forklift versus what these people were doing reselling on eBay. So pretty much ever since I watched their video, I watched it 2 or 3 times for it to kind of register in my brain. And I was like, wait a minute, there's got to be something to this. So then pretty much from that point on, it was probably 2015, 2016. I've been out reselling ever since.
Nice. There's always that one thing that kind of triggers people jumping into resale, right? Mine was Gary Vee's 2017 Flip Challenge. Flip, what made you turn that switch on as well?
Walter Blake Knobloch was he was like hot in 2017, posting videos about making 15, 20 grand a year selling VCRs. And I was like, this guy's full of crap. So I made it my mission to prove him wrong. I like created a YouTube channel and was like, I'm going to go buy a VCR. It's not going to sell. And then I'm going to make a video blasting this guy that I have no idea who he is. And I listed it. And before I went to bed that night, it sold for like $90. And I was like, well, damn. And I've been doing it since.
Right. So it sounds like YouTube has heavily influenced all of us into starting reselling. That's crazy.
Yeah. You know how everybody, whenever you want to know something, everybody always says like, Google it. Like me, I'm just like, have you YouTubed it? Like, that's just what I do. Like I had to work on my car the other day. And I immediately went to YouTube. I was like, I know somebody's done this. And sure enough, there it was. I figured out what I needed, went to AutoZone, got it, and fixed it myself. I was like, YouTube is a lifesaver. I mean, Google's great, but YouTube, you can actually watch someone do it, which is better than just reading about how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you were a forklift, you were union in Kentucky. How'd you get to Florida?
Well, I just moved, bro. It was just, life happens, man. And
Yeah.
I was in a long-term relationship with my girlfriend. And, coincidentally, when I lost my job, me and my girlfriend kind of split ways at the time. I had been there for 30 years. I'm not a big fan of cold weather, of freezing my butt off 6 months out of the year. And so it was just one of those things where I was like, okay, why? I mean, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm an adult. Why do I need to stay here in Kentucky? My job that I've been at for 10 years split. Me and this girl that we've been together, which I thought we were going to be together forever, we just split. And some of my family was already down here. My mom was living in Florida. My sister was in Florida. And at that time, during this transition period, my car had just broke down. My girlfriend broke up with me. I just got basically laid off, lost my job. My back was screwed up from driving a forklift for 10 years. I had to have a chiropractor work on my back. So my mom was like, hey, we have a really good chiropractor down here in Florida. Just put everything on pause, come down here for a week or two, let this chiropractor do these adjustments on your back, and let you just get feeling better. Take a break. Don't worry about work right now. Don't worry about paying bills. Don't worry about you and your girlfriend or whatever. Just come down and chill for a week or two with your family. Like, we miss you. We want to spend time with you. We have this really good chiropractor that worked on your back. And because when I was driving a forklift, when you're driving a forklift, you're like this, and your body is twisted like this. So
Yeah.
your spine is like twisted. Well, that's fine if it's for one day, but for 10 years, your spine is not supposed to be twisted like that. So,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened. And so once I came down here for a couple of weeks, I was like, okay, well, Mom was like, maybe you should just get a job down here if you like it here. They were like, this chiropractor is already here. He's, not far. Anytime you need an adjustment, he can fix you, because the chiropractor actually fixed me. He actually works on athletes and professional wrestlers and stuff. Like, he actually gets in and pushes your bones in the proper place. So he was like, if you ever need any assistance, you guys you can drive down the street and see him whenever you want. So I got kind of used to, like, it being January and 80 degrees and going for a walk on the beach and looking over the ocean. And it was just so calm and peaceful there. And where I was coming from in Kentucky, like, there's a lot of people, there's gangs, there's drugs, there's a lot of people that don't have a really high education there. The opportunities aren't there unless you get on working at UPS or Ford or General Electric or Humana. You're just kind of wandering out into the blue. There's not a ton of opportunities there. And Ford was laying off at the time. I'd already worked at UPS. I just got laid off at General Electric. My back is busted. My girlfriend broke up with me. The engine blew out in my car. So I just was like, it's like one of them country songs. Anything.
I was about to say, yeah, I feel like I need to grab my guitar real quick and just start playing while you're.
Yeah, right. So anyway, so we got down here to Florida, and then from that point on, I ended up getting a job down here, and eventually I decided to move because it was one of them things. Because I don't have a wife or kids or a family. It's just me. So I was like, let's just go down here and try it out and see how it is. Because I can live close to my mom. My sister is here. I get to see my nephews. They're an hour away across the bridge in Sarasota. And I eventually just decided to move down here and get a job and get an apartment and figure it out. And honestly, I haven't been back to Kentucky since. That's been probably 3 or 4 years ago. I haven't been back to even visit Kentucky. You get kind of used to, in January, everybody's freezing their butt off and there's snow and ice on the roads. And you're like, yeah, I'm wearing flip-flops and shorts and a t-shirt, so, yeah, but that's kind of what happened. It's kind of one of those things where, you get to a point and you're like, okay, what I've been doing for 20, 30 years or 10 years in this factory isn't working. You got to kind of start with a clean slate. And I kind of wanted to go somewhere where nobody knew who I was. You couldn't go down the streets and someone's like, hey, Jeff, because I was been in Kentucky for 30 years. There was nowhere in the city I could go without running into somebody. And they're like, hey, there's Jeff. Hey, how's Jeff doing? So I kind of wanted to just get a clean slate. Yeah, I'm 1,000 miles away from everybody that I went to high school with and everybody that I knew. And I was ready just to kind of start over. And it's okay. It's whole life, right? It's all right. If you get punched in the face one too many times, you can kind of live to fight another day. It's all right.
Amen. What's your favorite thing to sell? Like, what's your favorite category?
You guys already know. If you watch my channel, I am super big into media items. So right now, if you guys see me, I will buy items like this. Like if you guys are out somewhere and you see CDs like this that are new, still in the shrink wrap, you should pick them up. If you can get them for a quarter, 50 cents, 75 cents, go buy and pick them up. And media items I really like because I'm trying to grow and scale my business. I'm at about 6,500 items. And my goal is to try to hit 10,000 active listings by the end of the year. So I sell a ton of media items like this. And I try to find items like this that they don't make anymore. The customers can't go into Walmart or Target or Best Buy and pick it up. The only place you can get it is on eBay. And I have it still new in the shrink wrap, but they don't make it anymore. So I can kind of charge a premium. Like, for an example, this DVD here, I picked this up at the pawn shop for 50 cents, and I got it listed for 20 bucks. So when you're spending 50 cents and turning 50 cents into $20, you're getting what, a 40x rate of return on your investment? I mean, before fees and all that, you're turning 50 cents into 20 bucks. So I think that's one misconception a lot of resellers have is they always want to hit a home run where every item they sell is a $50 or $100 item. If you guys don't know, like my buddy Chris from Daily Refinement, 90% of all the items on eBay that actually sell are items that are $30 and less. So I try to stick to that particular market. Like, for example, I shop a lot at the Dollar Tree. I picked this up at the Dollar Tree. This is a Blu-ray, and I picked this up for $1, and it sells on eBay for 20 bucks. This one here is the George A. Romero Blu-ray. It's called Survival of the Dead. So what I'll do is I'll go in there, I'll check it. There's a little barcode on the back. You can scan it, look up sold comps. And let's say I find one that sells for 15, 20 bucks, right? Let's say this one sells for 20 bucks. So I'll walk in there, I'll check the ones out. I'll find this one that sells for 20 bucks. Then I'll buy like 10 copies of it. And then I'll go home, list it, scan it, post it online, and then put quantity of 10 in the listing for eBay. And then I'm good.
Yeah.
Then I'm done. So like, as you can see, like this one, for example, is called Gangsterland. And you can see I would just go in there and buy a bunch of copies of the same one. And then the listing is quick and it's easy. So I really love CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, video games. I sell a lot of like VHS tapes. So if you guys are out somewhere and you see like this one is, I don't know if you can see, this is like a Looney Tunes VHS tape. And I paid 50 cents for this guy. And he's probably going to sell for 20, 25 bucks. This is Christmas Carol, Mr. Scrooge VHS tape. So if you're out somewhere and you see something like this, that you know that's 25, 30 years old, and you know they're not making them anymore, that's kind of what I do on my main eBay store is look for media items that that I can pick up cheap. And all we're doing is just finding items for pennies on the dollar and then buying them low and selling them high. Like,
and you do it, you like a lot of replenishables.
Well, there's a pawn shop nearby the street from my house, and they'll sell me games like this. This is the Monopoly Nintendo Wii game. This one here is Xbox 360 game. They'll sell them to me for $1 a piece. All the PS2, PS3, Xbox 360 games. Here's some PS4 game. This is a Spider-Man PS4. This one here, I got this at Walmart on clearance. This is a Shadow of Mordor PS4. So my main eBay store, I buy a ton of media. And like I said, most of my items I'm items that I'm paying a quarter, 50 cents, 75 cents, $1. And then I'm trying to get it into that margin where I'm going to sell it for 20, 30 bucks, 15, 20, 30 bucks. I want to try to make a 20x on my money. So every time I buy an item, even like a remote like this, I'll pick this up at the thrift store for 50 cents. And then boom, try to see if I can sell it for $15, $20. And then I'm covered. If something happens, the customer says, hey, my item was lost in the mail, I want a refund, it didn't work, I'm out 50 cents, worst case scenario. You know, I don't have, $50 in a pair of shoes. But I'll give you an example. I picked this up at the thrift store yesterday. This is Paint Shop Pro 8. This is like a computer software. And you can see they don't make this anymore. It still has the Best Buy sticker of $100 on it. And I paid 75 cents for this at the thrift. I mean, there's sold comps for 60 bucks. I just listed mine for 50 bucks plus shipping, and it's still brand new in the shrink wrap. So because I still have my regular job and because I'm still trying to put energy on YouTube and running my other eBay store, I try to find items that I don't have to do a ton of work to. I don't have to sit here and test it like a VCR. I'm not cleaning a dirty pair of shoes. I spend a lot of my time on that, and there's a reason for that. If you guys don't know, on eBay, eBay will give you 10,000 free listings as long as it's in that select category. So I have a basic store, which is like $21 a month. in anything of items that are in that select category, like I just showed you guys, CDs, DVDs, video games, Blu-rays, VHS tapes, trading cards. There's a whole bunch of categories that are in these select categories. So what happens is at the end of the 30 days, I listed this item. At the end of the 30 days, your item doesn't sell. It'll auto relist and you're paying 0 insertion fees. So you're not being penalized to have that item listed on the platform. And whenever it sells, you're turning $1 into $20, you know? And it's quick, it's easy, it's simple. As soon as the item sells, I pick up my 6x9 padded envelope, drop it in the little padded envelope like this, put a shipping label on it, drop it in the mailbox, and then we're through, you know? So quick, easy, fast. And that's kind of what I've been doing. But I don't really get super pumped and excited going to thrift stores or yard sales anymore, because it's like, hey, I found this one item for 75 cents and maybe I can sell it for 50 bucks. But what I do a whole lot more of lately is I have a business model where I do wholesale to retail. So if you guys can see this right here, this is a bunch of CDs that I bought on eBay. And so what I'm trying to do is buy a big wholesale lot of merchandise. So for example, right now I can buy 1,000 CDs on eBay for $400, and they're all brand new in the shrink wrap, right? I don't have to do any testing, no cleaning, no nothing, right? So these items right here, they're not making them anymore. The person can't get it at Target or Walmart or Best Buy. I'm paying 0 insertion fees. So I buy 1,000 of these CDs for $400. It arrives shipped to my door, and my buy cost is 40 cents. Now, at a bare minimum, if I can sell these for $10 a piece times 1,000, I should theoretically be able to turn my initial $400 investment into $10,000 worth of merchandise. Because I only have so many hours in a day. Like I told you guys earlier, I'm a night person, and I can't go into some of these places at midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning to get inventory. So I try to get inventory shipped to me. If I can buy big bulk lots of merchandise, I mean, you saw my video, Flip the World, when I bought a big wholesale lot of Blu-rays. So that's what I'm looking for, is big wholesale lots of merchandise, whether it's CDs, DVDs, video games, Blu-rays. I'm looking for ones. I would love it if I can get ones that are still factory sealed, shipped to my door. And then all I'm doing is just scanning a barcode, take a picture front and back, it's listed, and I can probably list, I don't know, 100 of them in an hour. It doesn't take very long for me to list them. And then whenever it sells, like I said, all you're doing is just grabbing it, put it in a 6x9 padded envelope, and ship it out. So you have very low risk. At worst case scenario, the customer wants a refund, or it gets lost in the mail, or broken, or a ports pirate stole it. I've got 40 cents tied up in the item. And it's an item that's brand new in the shrink wrap that they don't make anymore. They quit making it 20 years ago. So I have very low risk. I'm turning, at worst case scenario, I'm turning 40 cents into $10, which is still a 25x rate of return on my initial investment. I've got 1,000 of them showed up at my door, brand new in the shrink wrap. So you're cutting out a lot of your sourcing time. So I feel like that's one thing that resellers do, which is fun. It's great for people to love to go to hit yard sales and thrift stores, and they're in this treasure hunt. But at the end of the day, like, I was at this thrift store and I only came home with one item. I was at the thrift store for an hour to find one item that sells for 50 bucks. Or I can press one button on my computer and boom, here comes $10,000 worth of inventory, brand new in a shrink wrap that they don't make anymore, from a touch of the button, and it just shows up at my door. So
man, if you like shoes, I would have the bulk inventory buy of a lifetime for you. Ty would.
Yeah, Ty was telling me about it. So I think that that's one thing that I do a little bit differently. And a lot of people on YouTube, they don't get super excited about a $10, $15, $20 sell. So I kind of switch my YouTube channel more to kind of promote other resellers. Just like you just hit 2,000 subscribers, right? So I try to do what I can to try to help out other people in the community and let people tell their stories, kind of help encourage people. My goal is on YouTube is to try to help people live their best life. So if I can help you, Chris, where you have no debt, you're making $100 grand a year, you get to be your own boss, and you get to make your own work schedule. Like that, to me, having someone send me a letter 5 years down the road saying, hey, Jeff, I was a subscriber to your channel. I now make 6 figures a year. I'm out of debt. Me and my kids, I get to be my own boss and make my own work schedule. Thank you for all you do. That to me is worth way more than being 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, you know?
For sure. That's actually how I found your channel, was like every reseller that I knew or that I was already following, you had interviewed. And I was just like, okay, well, everything comes back to eBay Addicts. So
You were like, yeah, you were just like, wait a minute, who is this guy, right?
I was like,
who is this guy? What is
I was like, he's literally interviewed everybody.
right? Like if you type in someone's name, you'll probably see my link will probably show up in the search engine. Like you said, YouTube is the second most search engine there is on YouTube. There is on the internet. There's Google and then there's YouTube. So yeah, it's like if someone's going to say, hey, here's Jeff with Walter Knobloch. Here he is with Rally Roots. Here he is with Harry Tornado. Pretty soon they're going to be like, who is this guy? And if I can kind of get them to watch a couple videos and kind of sit still and be like, wait a minute, these people that he's bringing on are dropping knowledge and giving information and giving tips and tricks from their years of experience to help me better myself. It's great. Today we had Amber Resells on. Yesterday I had a guy on and he was teaching people how to make money flipping cell phones, you know. And this is a guy, he was working, you know, a job as in the construction industry, making $300-400 a week. And now he makes $500-600, $1,000 a day flipping cell phones. So if I can do that and just be able to bring somebody where you have the empowerment to be your own boss, you can make your own work schedule, you can still make six figures, you can still live a debt-free life. You don't have to worry about some bill collector calling you there, you didn't pay off some credit card bill, but you just have to take action. Like you just, we'll give you as much free information as we can, but I can't like do the work for you, you know? So whatever we can do, that's what we try to do. And since you guys brought me on, I don't know if you guys want to talk about it or not, but I have two separate eBay stores. So my main eBay store is what I just showed you guys. I sell a ton of media, but my second eBay store, I focus a lot of my energy on replenishable items. So let's say, for example, this is a little Batman puzzle, right? I picked this up at the Dollar Tree for $1. This is Avengers Affinity War, right? You can pick this up at the Dollar Tree for $1. And so my strategy with my second eBay store is to find replenishable items. So I picked this up at the Dollar Tree. I'm looking for name brand items. As you can see, this is called Marvel Avengers Infinity. So it's a name brand item. It's really small. It's lightweight. It weighs less than a pound. And I can ship it in a 6x9 padded envelope. So that's what I try to do is I look for items like that. Here's some items here. These are like little kid floaty items, right? And this is a little splash and swim beach ball. So let's say somebody orders this on eBay. What I do is I'll go to the Dollar Tree. I'll buy one of them for $1. Then I come home. I list it on eBay. I take a photo front and back, post it on eBay, right? And then I'll put quantity of 10 in the listing or something. And then whenever the item sells, then I'll go across the street to the Dollar Tree, grab the item, then I'll box it up, put it in a little 6x9 padded envelope, throw a shipping label on it, ship it out. Like the other day, somebody bought 2 of these little beach balls. They were blue with glitter on them. And so my cost of goods was $2. The guy paid $20 plus shipping. They both fit in a 6x9 padded envelope. And so the idea is instead of me running around looking to try to list 100 items a day, what if I could go in there and get 10 items, list them once, and then they just resell over and over and over and over again. So when I was a kid, like I'm 37, but when I was a kid, we used to have something called a Sears catalog, right? So what I'm trying to do is create my own little Sears catalog on eBay. So once this item is listed, it's up there permanently. Like you own that listing, right? Does that make sense? And so what I try to do is find an item that I can get. It's small, it's lightweight. I have an infinity amount of them in supply. I only list them one time, and then it resells over and over again. Here's a little deck of playing cards. Like this, you can see this is name brand Spider-Man deck of playing cards. So I bought it for $1. I'll list it for like $10 plus shipping. And then whenever one sells, I go to the Dollar Tree, check out, grab it, put it in a 6x9 padded envelope and ship it out. So I don't have thousands of items in my house. I have one, right? Like this is an item here. This is a little window marker. You know, people put the little things in the window, just married or let's go Broncos or whatever. So this is an illustration. I picked this item up for $1. It's small, it's lightweight. You can fit it in a 6x9 padded envelope. I go home, post it, take a picture front and back, and whenever one sells, I ship it out. I mean, I feel like a lot of resellers, they get into reselling thinking that they're going to have more free time, but they're actually trading one job for another, right? So if you were in a factory and I was working 8 hours a day in this factory for somebody else, now I'm working 8 or 10 hours a day for myself, but I'm just sitting here scanning and scanning and scanning and listing items. What if it's possible where you can grab an item like this, pay $1 for it, go home, list it one time, and then sell it infinitely. So as long as this store has it in stock, I have this item in stock indefinitely, forever, right? So as long as I'm alive for the next 10, 15, 20 years, this company has it in stock. There's probably $5 trees within 10 minutes of my house, probably 5 of them. And like I said, my cost of good is $1. If something happens to this item, the dog eats it, it gets lost in the mail, customer wants a refund, something happened to it, the postman lost it, my cost of goods was $1. So I'm still going to try to get at least a 10x on my money, maybe 10, 15, $20. That's kind of my niche, probably $30 or less. And I just try to sell a ton of those items, high volume of items that are $30 or less, because it all adds up. Like,
awesome.
We're running out of time, man. I got another call, but we got 5 questions, 30 seconds a pop. Let's run through these.
Let's do it.
Kill it. All right, best flip, go.
I sold a pickup truck on eBay for $20,000.
Nice. Favorite sourcing spot?
Pawn shops, and then after that, thrift stores, and then online arbitrage.
Goal in 5 years.
My goal by the end of this year is to have 10,000 items on eBay. In the future, you can get a medium-sized store, a premium store, and you can get 50,000 items on that eBay store for $60. So I would love to eventually get to that point where I have 50,000 items listed, and my eBay fee would be $60. And like, you know, you're paying items like this and you have 0 insertion fees.
Just go ahead. And then favorite interviewer, favorite interviewee.
My favorite person I've had on so far, I'm a really big fan of Chris from Daily Refinement and Rally Roots. So both of those guys and Rockstar Flipper. Rockstar Flipper and Rally Roots live local to me in Tampa. And Chris from Daily Refinement, I watch all his videos. I'm a big fan of Chris from Daily Refinement. Out
of all reselling, what's your most favorite thing to do?
I was going to say sourcing, but probably my favorite thing is just, making sales. I think probably my favorite thing is just, may sound weird, my favorite thing is listing items. I have this Jedi mind trick that I play with myself with. Every time I list an item, whether it's a $20 item, I tell myself that I'm depositing $20 into my eBay bank account, and I'm waiting for that check to clear the bank. And then once I hear ka-ting, that check clears the bank, then I'm like, hey, this check cleared the bank. So that's probably my favorite thing, is just listing, because I'm like, hey, I just deposited a $20 check into my eBay account. So that's the way to look at it. I would say probably listing. I don't know. It's just something that I do. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, because everybody hates listing. Everybody loves sourcing. Everybody hates listing. Yep. But if you could sit home and give yourself a Jedi mind trick and say, hey, I just deposited a $20 check into my eBay bank account, you would be so more motivated to list if you look at it that way.
Love it.
But go ahead. What's your next question?
That's all of them today, man. I got to jump. First and foremost, Jeff, thank you for your time. Check out eBay Addicts on YouTube and Instagram. Again, Jeff, thank you again for your time, man.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you having me on. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.